Okay guys, so I'm starting the build of the QAV-R now. I've got the bottom part of the frame built, got my PDB in here, and I'm actually not using the PDB that this frame kit came with. It's also by Maytech. It's the Hub OSD because I want to get the battery voltage and current information while I'm flying. So it's pretty much the same as the other one that came with it. It just has the additional features. And I've got my 4 ESCs already soldered on. I've removed the heat shrink. These are the DYS XS 20 amp ESCs with BLES, and I've desoldered the ground wire. I'm just going to be using the signal wire for these ESCs, and I'll be using the included plastic cases that these ESCs came with. Should offer some pretty good protection. I just have these little spacers here. I think these are 10mm spacers on top of the PDB that's screwed directly into the frame bolt here. And I'm going to be mounting my flight controller on top of that. So I'm going to be using the X-Racer F303 flight controller for this build. I'll be putting that on here, soldering on my signal wires, and I'll come back when that's done. Okay guys, so I have my FreeSky receiver down here under the PDB, and I have my XT60 connector along with the grommet soldered on. I've got my flight controller here, that's connected to the receiver right there. I'm not going to mount the flight controller yet because I need to solder on my connections for the camera and video transmitter to these pads here. So I'm going to do that first before I solder on the signal wires to the ESCs and then mount the flight controller. So I'm going to go ahead and do the FPV stuff right now, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I got my signal wire soldered into the flight controller now. I've got a lead for my 5-volt power that I'm going to solder onto the PDB right here. I've got my video transmitter cables going to the OSD, and my camera cables here going to the OSD as well. And I'm going to be powering the camera from the 5-volt lead from the video transmitter going right there. So all I got to do now is just mount the flight controller. Also, in the interim, I also mounted a buzzer to the flight controller, and I'm going to be using this programmable LED as well on this flight controller, so I put that on as well. And so I just got to mount that, and then solder on my motors, and then basically I'm pretty much done at this point, and I'll come back and I'll show what I've done. Okay guys, I've got everything installed now. I've got my flight controller installed and my video transmitter and camera all connected now through these little connections right here. I installed my LED back here with 2 zip ties. I have a zip tie that goes around the standoffs. As you can see, it goes around the standoffs here like this. And then I have another zip tie that zip ties the LEDs to the other zip tie, so it's actually in there pretty good. It's not going to move. I've got my antennas coming out here with a zip tie that goes up like this, and I have some heat shrink that's holding the zip tie to the standoff here, and then I have this other heat shrink here that is holding the antenna to the zip tie, and I've got it on both sides. If you guys are going to get this frame, I highly recommend getting this video transmitter. It's a pretty good video transmitter, and with this little window here, your channel and band indicator as well as your button are easily accessible, and it comes with this pigtail here that is the right length for this hole here for the antenna, and it's going to be pretty safe even in a crash. You won't damage your connection here. Got my motors installed and soldered into the ESCs, and with these little ESC protectors. It looks like a pretty clean build. Just have them zip tied on. Works pretty good. So that's about it. There's nothing really else to install on this. I'm just going to configure it, get my battery straps installed in here, and go ahead and maiden it. So let me know if you guys have any questions about this build. I'll have a maiden video pretty soon, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.